Now, I want to come back to Sherman and to Staley.
Okay.
I think it's big that those two are out. Would you talk about it, please?
Okay. Well, absolutely. It seems to me this team has no leadership on the field. On offense, who's the leader? I don't think they have one. It's not Kittle. Kittle is exuberant and his energy is infectious, although I don't see it as much as it used to be. But he's like a big kid on the field. Staley was the grown-up of the offense. Sherman was the grown-up of the defense.
Yes.
Both of them were in their 30s. Staley played for the Harbaugh teams, had been in Super Bowls. Sherman won Super Bowls. If they went up to a player and says, you're doing something wrong or you need to do this, it carried immense weight. They could hold people accountable. You have to do this. There isn't anyone doing that anymore. And particularly the biggest weakness of the team on the offense right now is the offensive line. Mike Mcglinchey has gone from being a pretty good right tackle to being the worst right tackle in the league. And it looks like he's underweight, not strong enough, getting ran over. I think you can attribute some of that to Staley. Staley was the guy on the offensive line holding people accountable. And on the offensive line, that's like, hey, man, you got to eat more. You got to get your weight up. You're only 280. You're only 290. You got it. I don't know. It doesn't seem like Trent Williams cares. He's been on the team for like 2 months. He may not be on the team 2 months from now. I get that. He's kind of like a mercenary. Joe Staley, really he is Mr. 49er. Played for one organization. He's one of the greatest 49ers of all time. And to have someone who's that good and cares that much leave, we didn't think about that. We all offseason, we said, well, the Niners kind of got worse because they lost Buckner and Sanders, but they upgraded at left tackle. No, I think actually, in a way, losing Staley's leadership might have been the biggest blow to this team.
Iggy, remind people what Staley tweeted during the game.
Yeah, as the Niners were getting blown out, he tweeted, "What the hell is this?" with like 2 question marks and an exclamation point. Then, tongue in cheek in the second half, he said, "Okay, get ready for the most epic comeback of all time." And then, as the Niners continue to get blown out, he wrote, "Never mind."
Okay, I agree with every single thing you said, and I'd like to just go a little further now.
Sure.
I want to talk about Sherman and Staley, what they represent. 2 grown-ups, one won a Super Bowl, one has been a lifelong 49er, and leadership. Because Kyle is not a leader, as far as I can tell.
Yep.
There's a leadership gap on the team.
Yes.
And you need leadership in the locker room. Whether you have leader coaches or not, you need leadership. Both of those 2 guys are gone. So there's quote unquote a leadership gap.
Also, Emmanuel Sanders, who was, I think, the team took off when they got him.
Okay.
Another grown up with a ring.
So what does it mean to have leadership? And this is something Steve Young used to tell me all the time. It means we have a standard. It means we are the 40 freaking Niners. We have a standard of practice, of commitment, of our mentality and how we play. Because Shanahan, as a head coach, doesn't seem to have that standard or can't convey that standard. You need Staley and Sherman to embody and remind people of the standard the way Steve Young did, the way Joe Montana did, the way Jerry Rice did, the way Bill Walsh did. And I think this team not only doesn't have the standard, lost track of it.
I got something else.
Placed it in the boiler room.
Totally agree. And I got something else to say. If Staley and Sherman had been on that field Sunday, no way the Niners get blown out by the Miami freaking Dolphins. It wouldn't have happened. And if it was trending that way, those 2 would have flipped out. They would have done something. Can you imagine Sherman being on a field with a defense giving up 43 points and him just walking around like, hey, well, we'll get him next week? No, he would have lost his mind. This is not how a defense that I'm a part of ever plays. He would have lost.
And by the way, Kittle, in his post-game remarks, essentially said, we'll get him next week.
Yep.
He said that.
And when I started off this conversation, I said, not a leader. Not a leader.
No, he's like a puppy. He's like a puppy. He's
great. Look at him. It's a lot of fun, but not a leader. He's the opposite of Joe Staley.
Right.
And where is he this year? He had 4 catches last week. He was nowhere. I'm sorry. Kittle, you wanted to be the highest paid tight end of all time. You got it. You have to produce every game. You can't have games where it's like, hey, well, His blocking was pretty good. 4 catches for 44. I know you don't throw the ball to yourself, but there were some times when you got the ball and you dropped it. You got 8 targets. You only caught 4 of them. Play better. They're paying you to.
Russ Francis was a leader. Charlie Young was a leader. Right? Dwight Clark was a leader.
Justin Smith was a leader.
Yeah.
Patrick Willis was a leader.
Oh, God. Bowman was a leader.
Oh, leader. Oh, yeah.
Where are these people? Now, 54 is a leader.
He's a leader, but again, he's 24 years old. They need someone who's 30. They need a real grown-up on the field somewhere, and they just don't have it. Sherman will come back maybe, or he won't. I mean, if they could get Trent Williams to buy in and care, that would be great. But I guess they, unless he has a long-term contract, that's not going to happen. So I don't know.
Grant, I want to end this discussion by asking you a question, but you're going to be Kyle Shanahan. I'm going to ask you a question. Kyle, do you have good leadership on this team, and does that include you? Do you have good leadership on the team?
I mean, by no means am I perfect. I mean, I always want to get better as a leader, but I feel like last week I did my best to prepare the team for, I gave them a good speech on Wednesday, and I took the pulse of the team on Thursday. And I felt like they all felt like they had leadership. And then on Sunday, a couple of things went, there was the turnover, and I couldn't anticipate that. So, but really, I mean, over the course of the 5 games, I feel like my leadership's been good in 3 of them, but really 2 of them, they kind of got away from me. So I don't think it's fair to really blame me and label me as a non-leader because, okay, Kyle, thanks a lot. I'm going to go transcribe that.
I'm convinced.
All right, Kyle. By no means am I perfect. He says that in every press conference. By no means was it perfect. Okay. Thanks for reminding me. The Kyle Shanahan quote of the week. By no means was it perfect. No, by no means. All right, Dad. I think we did it.
Wasn't there a bonus topic you were talking about?
Staley and leadership.
Oh, that we did. We just
did that one. That was a good one. Is there anything else you want to talk about? See anything good on TV recently?
No, I'm just thinking about I'm going to enjoy that cab. But Iggy, I'm going to drink it with you.